Well, I hope MSNBC and CNN and all the college kids that got recruited by intelligence agencies are proud of yourself. What she got recruited by was a foreign corporate coup over our nation state with the admitted plan to bankrupt our society, to turn us into abject chattel financial slaves. And right now you're getting your asses kicked royale. You are getting your asses handed to you. And you don't understand that if you keep pushing, the real guns haven't even come out yet politically. You're being punched by big old fat gloves right now. Buckley, what are the biggest gloves they can wear in boxing?
16 ounces or something?
I mean, the big gloves are on right now. Look at this traffic. You know, I'm teleprompter free. So what happens is I pull up this big image of all the data and all the research and all the info, and then I start going into it, and as I jump from one piece to another, my brain starts accelerating until my mouth can't keep up with the data. So I'm just gonna really try to be calm here and break this down. I was told by high-level sources that I needed to watch being poisoned about a month and a half ago, right after Trump won. And I got multiple calls from Virginia, from Houston, from people saying, you need to really watch out. And the word is, so I guess I need to call the FBI and tell them about this, is that they might use a radioactive isotope on you like polonium. And you hear this stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah. And there was that Litvinenko triple agent, thought he was a Russian agent, really a British agent. They thought he was an agent back to the Russians. So he gets poisoned with it. And then the MI6 operative who's working with him, the guy that gets poisoned with polonium, is the guy that leaks the Trump PP Gate dossier. You can't make this up. Since we broke this yesterday, it's in the newspapers. The newspapers are looking at it and going, God, this is confirmed. And Roger Stone, about 2 weeks ago, I'd just gone on family vacation, a workcation. And he said, yeah, no, they just sent out the feds out to my house. So I was in the hospital for weeks. He had never been in the hospital in his life since he was born. It was the second time in the hospital in his life. And he said, it's polonium poisoning, but they're saying it's national security because only a state-sponsored actor could have this isotope that can only be made in the biggest reactors, basically. So it has a signature. He said, what do you think's behind it? I said, well, clearly it's meant to kill you, and then they just blamed the Russians and said they were getting rid of one of their assets. I said, with the Litvinenko case, it was connected back to MI6. And I wasn't even making the connection then that it was the same MI6 handler spy that was attacking Trump and Stone and everybody that was tied to that. I was doing research for it a few days after that and was like, holy Toledo, it's the same guy. So this has, huge import. Well, here's the whole story. So Stone goes, okay, give me the medical records. And then the guys with the, crew cuts come back to the house and, well, it's national security, blah, blah, blah. And so he's having his lawyers involved in all this because they don't obviously want him waving around that he was hit with polonium. So he's going to get private tested right now. But I mean, this happened. Stone looks like hell. I like Stone. He's a friend of mine now. Known him for 2 years. I met him like 5 years ago, but he looks 10 years older. His face looks like it's almost paralyzed. His brain, the radiation or the toxic effects all over his face. I really feel sorry for the guy. And he's so worried about defeating the globalists. He's so mission-oriented. He hardly even wanted to talk about this. He wanted to make it all about how they were going to call him before Congress. Well, let's set the stage here. Roger Stone was demonized by a whole bunch of members of Congress, Adler, you name it, all over the news, saying Roger Stone's behind the WikiLeaks, Roger Stone's behind the DC attacks, the leaks, Roger Stone. And then you've got this DNC staffer getting shot 4 times in the back, Seth Rich. See, journalists are being targeted. Whistleblowers are being targeted. I think I remember the Congress calling for Snowden and Bradley Manning's death. So all this is going on. All this is happening. And right as he's trying to finish his book on all this, exposing it, right as they're, quote, going to call him to Congress in the next month now, as the star witness that he's this Russian agent, he gets hit with polonium. Probably didn't drink the whole drink. They don't know how he got administered, because it takes 24 to 48 hours to hit. You think it's the worst flu of your life. Your body's trying to get it out of there. I mean, you name it. So they want to get rid of him. And you ask, who has the motive? The criminal elements that have infiltrated our government, the criminal infiltrators of the, quote, deep state. But this has happened to Stone. It's just crazy that it was floated around to me that I should just have the message that the Justice Department's investigating me. Loretta Lynch, that meets on airplanes with Bill Clinton, totally illegal. And that Nancy Pelosi's really pissed at me. Then Pelosi's daughter goes on TV before I've announced this and says that I'm death threatening her and have to be dealt with. Never said anything like that about her. So they've just got themselves all hyped up in this frenzy, I guess because they're behind the scenes giving orders or whatever, and I guess they're all playing James Bond now. I mean, this is a real world you're in. Everybody knows things are a two-way street. But when the Democratic leader's daughter, so like, Alex Jones's people are death threatening me, I'm scared, he's bad, shut him up. And Hillary's naming me, Obama's naming me, they're passing laws to start shutting down the free press. They list Drudge, InfoWars, and Roger Stone is fake news. Fake news my ass. Oh, like we told you Trump was going to win, was that fake news? We've even caught him trying to plant fake stories on the site. I mean, it has been like a James Bond movie, folks. And you can read the articles on Infowars.com. The Daily Mail did a big breakdown on our exclusive interview yesterday. But this is a big, big deal. And you've got Seth Rich getting shot in the back. You've got what happened to Stone. You've got the fact that I was told by multiple sources that Hillary's who you have to worry about if she loses. And Soros and these people, because they have a rule. If they lose politically, they go to the next level. It's like when they spent $5 billion of U.S. taxpayer money, something like $1 billion of Soros's money to overthrow Ukraine. They go on TV and admit they overthrew Ukraine so they can brag about it. Then they say the Russians are making it up that the Russians invaded Ukraine. I thought that I even agree with the Russians. Soros admits they overthrew Ukraine, but then they come out and say, but it's insane, Russia did it all. I mean, Russia threw off their oligarchs that are the very same people we've got ruling us. That's the only solidarity we've got with Russia. And they're fellow human beings, and I'm not out to get Russia. If Russia does anything, if Russia gets caught promoting socialism or communism, which they're going away from, or coming after my guns, I will come out against the Russians so damn quick it'll make your head spin. I am a loyal American, as loyal as it gets. With the history, the fight, the proof, and the pedigree, the whole 9 yards. But the truth is, it's the globalists that are screwing us over, pissing on our face, telling us our kids don't belong to us, trying to bankrupt things, trying to run the country off a cliff. I mean, you see the propaganda everywhere. I saw the cover of Time magazine, incoming with a helicopter landing, Air Force 2, or Marine 2, or Marine 1, whatever it's called. Teleprompter free. Is it Marine 1, Buckley?
Marine 1.
Yeah, Marine 1. And it's all Obama's fighting as hard as he can to stop the collapse that Trump's going to cause. And here's his survival guide. And I read the stupid article. It's total inversion. Everything they say in there, they're doing to sabotage Trump and America. Folks, for 3 years, they've been letting leprosy and TB over the border. Okay, and not even treating people that have it. They're like, oh, well, shut up. You're against diseases? There is a scorched earth program to bankrupt and wreck the country, and we even have the documents in the WikiLeaks. So there's a great editorial cartoon on Infowars.com. At least it was still there this morning. It was up yesterday. And it's an Evel Knievel car, like, Cadillac, running off Snake Mountain with Obama driving, with Uncle Sam in the back with his hat flying off, and sitting in the shotgun seat is Trump. And he says, all right, get ready to take the wheel. That's the truth, not Time Magazine, or was it Newsweek? I read it on the airplane. Marine One landing coming in, and it says, oh my gosh, can Obama help Trump not destroying himself? I mean, give me a break. And it's like we've elected a bunch of babies in the last administration. Drudge has a great image of it. Says the last days or the party's over. And it just shows all these whiny little bitches that had some score to settle. They had daddy issues with white male America when you dumbasses have been in charge. And it's been a bunch of weirdo white males that are basically bossing you around, and you just wrecked the culture, wrecked the society. Let me pull up Drudge. Man, I gotta tell you, it's just incredible. There we go, party's over. Well, he's got it red linked. Trump operative Roger Stone's survives assassination attempt. Oops, sorry. See that? But look here, the party's over. Look at their faces. Now, by the way, just learning about media control, corporate media control, and why they're dying, they have to wait to get orders and authorization from on high to go with something. So we break this bombshell about Roger Stone on air. Normally, White House run Media Matters attacks us within 30 minutes when we say something big. We can say the sky's blue, they say it's, black. Nothing from them. Nothing from CNN, nothing on. Our story's going completely viral. Drudge links to it, and then the Mail links to it, and does a report, but then nobody else covers it. Why is the Daily Mail bigger than the New York Times? Because they report the information. Why is Drudge bigger than the New York Times and Facebook combined? Same story. Because we're not controlled. We don't answer to anybody. Same thing as Donald Trump. Donald Trump answers the Constitution, and that's it. He's got some issues with it, but, at least he means well. And when I look at the left and just how crazy they've gotten, and I keep saying this, you're not the left. You're not the left. You're not the left. Left, right, what does that mean? I have the whole history of it. The average leftist doesn't know what left hand means. Left means sinister or left hand. It's associated with the feminine in general history. And it's associated with dishonor, treachery, lies, the devil. That's the thing about left and right. I don't think that's fair towards women, but there you go. But if you look at the Jacobins and the first leftist movement, that's what they called it, it was a Luciferian religion. This is in the history books. George Washington wrote about it in letters. You can read them online. Library of Congress. Scans of his own writing. Warning of it. And the French Revolution. So, the Republican establishment's horrible. They're part of the same leftist movement. So when I say transcend the left-right paradigm, I mean transcend that the establishment on the left and right are controlling us. Doesn't mean there isn't a left or right. Within a certain paradigm of analysis, and it's like a language. Doesn't mean a language is all-encompassing of reality. It's just a way to approximate and look at things. So, these are deviant people who do not like the fact that you're handsome, strong, and can play the guitar, or that you're a great poet. That's why they always obsess with the arts and controlling the arts and controlling the distribution of the arts so they can poison the great spirit of humanity. That's their ritual. And they admit this. Everything's a big ritual. And they're losing control. Hollywood's folding, everything's falling. I made the point that they're hoping Communist China buys up the big 6 production houses because they're failing. And I made the point, my God, you people don't even get yourself straight. The communists have already taken over in China, so they don't want homosexuality taught to kids and tranny stuff and all this stuff. They execute you if you're gay in China. I'm not saying that's good. The news picked that up. I did a memo on it last week. I said, you want China to come in and take over because they're authoritarian and can back up Hollywood and because they're anti-American, but they'll execute you for your agenda and they won't even let you air most of your films that they see as anti-family because they understand that the brand of sexual revolution you're selling was designed by the CIA, this is declassified, to end the family and bring down the civilization. And again, you're like, well, wait, is it a communist program? No. The Rockefeller Foundation, the Ford Foundation, these big groups put all this out in the 50s and 60s, deployed it in the 60s and 70s, and they've done it. The black community had less illegitimacy in the 40s than whites do. Now it's upwards of 80-something%. That's weaponized control. MTV force-feeding gangster rap. Folks picked it up, converted their culture to being thugs. So everyone would ostracize them, put them in their own group. Everybody kills each other. You're ready for prison. They even have you wear your pants hanging down around your ass, saying, I'm a male whore in a prison. Punk me. Bend me over. And, I mean, they could make people dress like prison sex slaves and make it cool because Sumner Redstone on MTV said so. See, Sumner Redstone hates you. All right, listen, I got to end this transmission. Next transmission, I might do one from the airport. Next transmission is going to be in D.C., Lord willing. Don't ever take anything for granted. I'm not being a drama queen about this. People that don't live in extraordinary situations or don't know that history's happening go, oh, yeah, right. Well, I mean, look at how we've changed the world. Look at how InfoWars has changed the world. Look at all the things we've done together. And then realize this is really happening. And the globalists do recognize that InfoWars and you, the listeners and viewers, were an integral part of taking the Republic back to a certain extent. We've gotten a beachhead in D.C. And so pray for us. Support us. Go to InfoWarsStore.com. Great products, big sales that end this weekend. 30% off on a bunch of the supplements and stuff. Non-GMO heirloom seeds, great water filters, everything. You know, the media makes jokes about water filtration. I drink bottled water, filtered water, period. Everybody knows there's glyphosate and crap in there. You're crazy if you drink it. Support us. Spread the word. Spread the articles. Spread the videos. Spread the Roger Stone articles. And send in a local talk show host and national media and say, why aren't you covering this? Because you're waiting till national news covers it. Because you're smart enough to know you get fired if you ever report anything original. Because you're controlled. And that's why you're losing your audience. And I understand it's a chicken or an egg. Because you get fired if you report the truth, but you also fire yourself by not reporting the truth because nobody's listening. So if a tree fell in the forest, nobody was there to hear it make a sound. Did it make a sound? Hey, those who the gods would destroy, they first make mad. Know that. The elite are going crazy. Maxine Waters going on TV and saying, we need to impeach Trump. He gets orders from Putin. Putin came up with the term crooked Hillary. I guess he came up with the term Coca-Cola too. Or when I wiped my ass this morning, Putin was there, grooming my stool. This is ridiculous. But this is the insanity. The babies, the whining scum that realize you're being rejected. Doesn't mean that some utopia is coming, but at least a bunch of scum, a bunch of moron idiots. You know, our time's coming to an end. I hope you stand down, globalist. All right, I'm going to be in D.C. covering things. They're trying to ban free speech. Saying they're going to, try to gas the event I'm going to speak at, and death threats, all of it. It's what cowards do. Because they're cowards, death threats would, I guess, intimidate them. That's not working. Humanity's awakening. I'm Alex Jones, InfoWars.com. If you're watching this transmission, you are the hope and you are the resistance. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here with the inauguration special. We've had some of the biggest sales in our history since Christmas into the new year. I'm extending them as the inauguration specials right through this weekend, and then it's over. We have some new products coming out next week, some other sales we're going to be doing, but many of these sales are going to have to come to an end. If you want across the board massive specials on hundreds and hundreds of items like Brain Force, 30% off, and there's 20% more in each bottle. Supernova Vitality, 30% off. Survival Shield X2, 30% off. Here's the bottom line. These are great products that have changed my life and changed so many other people's lives. Also, it funds the operation. This sale ends this weekend after the inauguration of Donald J. Trump as the 45th president. InfoWarsStore.com or InfoWarsLife.com, or call toll free 888-253-3139. Get great products, help fund the InfoWar, and celebrate the election of a populist, a champion against the New World Order. I'm Alex Jones, and this is the InfoWar.